my gosh. Hello, everybody. It's Trapped in the Birdcage, and we finally made it. Sorry for the technical issues and for the fact that Jimmy and Chad are also not here. But Chad will show up later, and so hopefully Chad will be able to join us, which is great. We're going to have some good time with Chad. I have not a can of wine with me, so everything's going to be A-okay today. So yeah, how is everyone? How are you guys? Welcome, Nate, to Trapped in the Birdcage.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And sorry, my everything is just a train wreck.
No, you're fine. Is Nate a ship? Nate is not playing a ship, but you do have a ship on your little bar there. Just you'll see. Whom is Mason? Will you figure it out? So previously on and I think your thing is still making weird. I keep hearing like
I'm hearing it from somewhere else.
oh,
I don't
no.
think it's
Is that you, Hadil? Someone's got a fan on. We can't birdcage if someone's got a fan on.
Turn it off. Listen, I don't have AC. It's hot. I'm dying. It was outside.
You know what we die for? Dungeons and Dragons, everyone, okay? We all die. Don't move my mic, sorry.
We're gonna die here.
We are all going to die here. It's not a joke.
I was laying on the street trying to fish my keys
I'm
out of
sorry.
a grate. I was unsuccessful.
Yeah, before this started, Hadil was trying to fish her keys out of a grate. Nate had technical issues, and we don't know where Jimmy is, so everything is fine. By the way,
fine.
Mercury's in retrograde. If all of you, people live in LA, people tell each other that because it's like, but I think it's self-fulfilling prophecy, to be completely honest with you.
I mean, I didn't even know that when I lost my entire bag last night. So
It's not good. It's just bad all the time.
Anyway, shall we? So, the last episode of Trapped in the Birdcage, you guys were on your way to figure out pretty much where Reader went. Reader was kidnapped, and he was taken by a rogue Modron with a bunch of paint all over him and little phrases and things like that. And, oh my god, someone has a little Mercury, avoid Mercury, like, emote. That's amazing. I need it. So you made your way through the Slags, which is in the Hive and Sigil. You ran into, actually, a really famous monster that wanders the Slags. And then you ended up finding yourself in the lair of someone named Biter, who is Reader's brother. So what happened is you faced all these horrific Toy Story style monstrosities, and at the end of that, you ended up being overwhelmed by them. And now you find yourself and two of your unconscious companions, which is Saturn, who is unconscious, and Reader, who is also unconscious, and you all find each other handcuffed to each other, stuck in the corner of a room, covered in mechanical Modron parts and grease and oil and different sort of contraptions that seem to be cobbled together in a non-functioning kind of way. It's almost a graveyard of like mechanists in a sense. And it's a square room, again, just four walls, pretty generic except for all of these parts, and you're on the ground handcuffed, and you don't see anyone at the moment.
I have important questions. In what manner are we handcuffed to each other?
Yes.
You were handcuffed with actual, what look like cobbled together, mechanical looking handcuffs. They're not magical. So Will, you are handcuffed to Reader, and Nejma. Nejma, you're handcuffed to Saturn, and Saturn is handcuffed back around to Reader.
Are we facing outward or inward?
Inward. Oh no, sorry, outward. It's outward. Yeah, outward.
Okay. So Saturn and Reader are just like flopped on the ground?
Yeah, they're just they're just dead weight at this point, and you're handcuffed to them.
Cool.
Not loving this.
Are there any guards or anything?
Nope. You're just handcuffed to the ground. You think you could probably stand up?
Nejma, do you think you could just I don't know, burn this off of us somehow?
Are they metal? Are they metal
They
pieces?
are metal, yes.
So maybe you could just melt the. I don't know. You seem to be able to do lots of cool fire stuff lately.
I can do that. My main concern, I like the idea. I like it a lot. I like the initiative. I like where we're going. My main concern is when metal gets hot, speaking from experience here, it burns a lot and it doesn't really melt unless the fire is really, really hot. I am afraid of losing my perfect hands. That's my main concern. These are Mama's money makers.
Yeah, Nejma, you think
like a chain or something? I wasn't.
No, you think that if you tried to burn the handcuffs, you would definitely burn your perfect hands.
Yeah, my perfect.
And Will's perfect hands.
Yeah, Will's perfect hands.
We do have perfect hands.
Mm-hmm.
We have perfect hands.
We need
perfectly.
to protect our assets.
Yes, perfectly manicured. Just got a fill the other day.
You notice also that Reader is missing an arm, or not an arm, a leg.
Oh, that's unfortunate. We should probably find that later. Or, one of the spider leggies from before.
Yeah, one of those might have been Reader's. You don't know.
Yeah. He's not gonna like that when he wakes up.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
These are, do you want to inspect the handcuffs, or do you want to see?
Yeah.
Why don't you...
Can I take a look at these bad boys?
Yeah, why don't you both give me a perception check just to see if you can see how much these handcuffs, how much they can do for you.
You said insight or investigation?
That would be perception.
Perception.
Yeah.
18.
11.
Yeah, Nejma, you don't know. They're locked. You could burn it, but again, you'd burn your hands. Will, you definitely think that it's possible to pick these, but because they're cobbled together so badly that it would actually be really difficult because of how much they, because of how shoddy they are. So it actually would be more difficult to try and to pick them. So they're shitty, but they're difficult.
She's gonna take out her thieves' tools then and do it nonchalantly because she doesn't want Nejma to see her fail at it, so she doesn't want Nejma to know she's even trying.
Okay.
I'll look the other way.
All right.
Cool. Sleight of hand?
That would be thievery. So yeah, sleight of hand.
Oh, guess who rolls a 27?
You actually do it.
Oh,
pick the
yeah,
lock.
boy.
On
We'll
one
just
of your,
go,
whose hand are you? You have two
My own.
handcuffs on two people.
well,
so who did
Do
you?
it to Nejma because then Nejma would have known that she was picking it. So she just lifts up her hand and lets the one that was handcuffed to Reader fall off, and she's like, "Which handcuff?"
You're just cracking open a cold one with the boys over there.
Amazing.
And then
Nejma's
now
very
that she knows she can, she's gonna try to do it to Nejma's.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you do that?
Yeah, go for it.
25.
Yeah, that's enough.
Hey.
Yeah.
And she does like a flourish, like
Yeah, like just pulls him out from behind her ears, like, oh,
Yeah.
he's here all along.
As you do that though, you start to hear footsteps, like heavy footsteps coming from the hallway where this room is, coming back
I
from where you
pretend I
came
still
from.
have the handcuffs on. I like hold
Yeah,
them.
we pretend.
Okay.
We pretend.
Yeah, as you see, who comes through the door is Biter, who you saw before, which is very similar to Reader. Again, looks like could be related to Reader, except for he has paint all over him and a bunch of like strange accoutrements that just seem like he came out of a dumpster. And he just looks at you and he's like, yeah, like my brother's leg worked really great, so I just want to show you guys what I've been working on. Why don't you stand up and come with me?
We're kind of handcuffed together, you idiot.
And you can stand up.
Oh.
They
I
can't.
feel like we're dragging them, and listen,
You
I
know,
might
just
walk
carry
with
him.
these-
Like, he looks at Reader and he's just like, you can carry him, it's fine.
I can't. It's kind of heavy. Richmond just like noodles onto the floor. My arms, I am hurt.
Will joins in. She's like,
Oh, but you're hurt, then, you know, I'll just have to use you for parts. And he starts to walk
No.
towards you, and he's got a dagger.
No, I suddenly find the strength of the Lord within me and stand up very quickly.
And he's like, just stand up, I'm just gonna show you, just come on.
Okay.
And he he walks out and he just like ushers you to follow him. So
And we just start dragging Rita and Saturn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's gonna take you a while. It's gonna take you a bit of a time to get into the main chamber where you saw those other parts. So there's the dead spider one that you killed with the Warforged head on top. There's piles, like about 10 feet of different parts and paint and modrons and just copper mechanics everywhere. You notice the ground is littered with tiny springs and cogs and all kinds of nonsense. And as you're walking through, it's almost like sand, like cogs of sand. He takes you to a big archway, a big copper archway that looks like it's been hammered together. And at the top, in hammered copper plates, it says Father at the top, like with weird nails in it and things. And he walks up to a massive brass door and just pushes it open. And inside, you see what could only be considered, I guess, a coffin. A massive copper coffin, again, made of plates hammered together that looks like they were from buildings and from different places. And he just points to it and says, "Why don't you go take a look? Too bad Reader's unconscious because I took his leg, but, it's for a good cause."
Where is his leg now?
He doesn't say anything, and he's just waiting for you to enter. And if you stand there any longer, he just looks at you and goes, "Go in!"
All right.
Well,
We awkwardly drag our friends in.
yeah. This is a place of nightmares. This is not a house for friends. But I will continue through the door.
All right. Yeah, he just stands in the door and waits for you to go look at the coffin.
I go look.
Coffin, is it open or is there like a...
It looks like there's a lid. Yeah, again, the same shining copper lid. And on the top, it almost looks like like a Warforged face has been cobbled out of copper on the top of it.
Cool.
What kind of motions? Like, are we supposed to...
He nods.
Okay, well...
Like, cool. And she opens it?
Yeah, so when you open it, just this, like, horrific stench hits you. And inside is this awful amalgamation of Warforged parts and the entire decomposing side of a human man. His side of his face and the whole side of his body has been grafted into this Warforged amalgamation, and it looks at you. One eye being mechanical and one eye being human. And it just is like... And you see that one of its legs is Reader's leg.
Will just, like, having lifted that and seen that, she just goes, and just drops it. She's like...
Nejma turns to Biter and is like, "So I noticed you've created a hell monster. This is a crime against God. What is this? What is this?"
He closes the door on you.
Okay.
And he looks at you and says, "Now I'm going to have to use your parts to finish him."
No, that's fine. We don't need to do that.
And he starts to walk towards you with the dagger.
Okay, I'm gonna kick your ass now.
Yeah. Do we get the element of surprise because he thinks we're bound and we just ha?
Yes.
Mason.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up. You are in a home, a wooden home with some quaint artwork on the walls. But you're also kind of tied to a chair with one hand up in a waving position. And
I forgot about that.
And it's very dark, and you have very dark sunglasses on. And you don't know where you are. The last you remember, you were in a Mercy Killer prison.
So I remember Blast being in a prison. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And now I'm just like, so am I like super like bound up, or is it something I could just like
it's very poorly tied. It was pretty much just to keep your unconscious body sitting up, like Weekend at Bernie's style.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So he wakes up. He's just kind of like, "Hell is the where? Huh?"
You notice there's a skull on the middle of the table.
Is this an alarming skull?
It's definitely a human skull, but everything else looks pretty innocent except for the skull on the middle of the table.
Is this like decorative skull, or this is
decorative.
Okay? All right. Not just like, oh, someone got a fresh skull and threw it on the table.
Yeah.
It's a centerpiece. Okay, it ties the room together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fresh skull.
A fresh one, yeah.
Yeah. You've also been completely fleeced and robbed of all of your belongings.
Great.
Who could have done that?
Stuff. Like he kind of feels around for a particular item.
Which one are you looking for?
A charm of recall.
Oh yeah, no, your charm of recall is no longer with you. But you know that whoever has taken it, you can speak the activation word, and it will return whoever is with it, and within 5 feet of them, everyone else.
Gotcha.
So
he feels around for it and doesn't see it. He's like, all right then. And then he says the magic word, which is, he mutters, besties.
So back in Biter's chamber, just as Biter is running up to you with this dagger to take your organs, all of you see a flash of white light, and you're back in your house.
Oh, thank God. In the middle of going, ha!
Yeah. Yes. And you notice that your guest, who you rescued from prison and who knows nothing about being robbed or any of this stuff, is now awake.
So they like pop in. So I haven't actually like seen any of these folks yet, right?
You were unconscious when Will robbed you.
Gotcha.
When someone.
Yeah.
Someone, yeah. Oh, you know who it is because you know whoever has the charm of recall has robbed you.
Somebody gave that to her.
Anyway, no, you guys talk it out. I'm not defending anyone here.
So they like transport back in, and he just kind of looks around. And he's like, "Oh, this is a pretty nice place you got here. Not bad for a couple thieves."
Okay, first of all,
Mason, I'm so glad you're awake. We spent so much time together in that prison, and we were so close, and you gave me this charm to always be close. Don't you remember? It was such a lovely time that we had together. I'm so glad that you're okay.
As you're saying that, you're still handcuffed. Or you're not handcuffed, but Nejma, you're still handcuffed to Reader as well as Saturn, and you notice that Saturn hasn't come through yet, and suddenly Saturn falls from the ceiling, just hits the ground really hard.
Oh, whoops.
And Reader falls next to him, and he's still missing a leg.
Oh. Nejma takes the skull from the table and like puts it in the leg socket. This is fine.
Replying to Will, Mason's like, "Have we met?"
Don't you remember we were sharing a cell in the right? Nejma, you saw us.
I did see.
I
saw.
They broke us out.
Yes.
And we just.
You're welcome. I broke you out. Yeah.
We're so thankful because me and Mason were in such a terrible plight together. And she kind of like drapes herself on his arm.
I committed many crimes. I am an outstanding citizen, and I broke so many laws. So
it's like, nah, I think you're trying to pull a fast one on me because I think I'd remember a face like that, Sunshine.
Will was preparing her
Sunshine.
a fast one.
I don't understand the question. I won't respond to it.
I calls it like I see it. It's fine. You know, if you did steal that, I could understand it. Because, you know, I could respect wanting something more than feeling like you want something more than who has it. So, but maybe you should do a little research and just kind of like yoinks the charm, be like, maybe you should know what you're taking first. And he just kind of puts it back.
If you didn't mean to give it to me, then I don't want it anyway.
Not as young. Play cards. We'll see where it goes, huh?
In between this monologue, the skull pops out of Reader's leg socket and just rolls across the floor.
Nejma like scrambles to get it. She's still handcuffed to and like dragging them a little bit. Like,
Hold on. Let me hear. Let me take care of that.
Is
Can
this
I try to undo those?
is this normal for y'all?
I mean, I used to work at a circus, so sure. Yeah, we'll say that. I mean, this isn't the worst thing that's happened. It's up there. You will not believe the things that I've seen just now in the last hour, but it's it's not the worst.
You all also remember that you had another guest in the home. It was Inzil Zethergill, who is Mason's first mate, and you haven't heard anything from him.
I wouldn't know that he'd be in here, right?
No, you wouldn't, because you just woke up. You didn't go check. He was supposed to break you out of jail, but you don't. I mean, obviously it worked, but you haven't seen him.
All right, so last thing I remember, I was in prison. I woke up. I was greeted with, I don't know if you'd call this hospitality, but kind of propped up in an interesting way. I got a great view of the neighborhood. I'll give you that much. It's, again, nice place. So who's gonna fill me in on what the hell's going on?
Well, I mean, I already did. You know, I don't know how you got in jail, but we got thrown in the same cell, and then my friends here, thankfully, saved both of us.
And how'd you know who I am, first and foremost?
Someone said your name at some point.
Yeah,
did I meet his friend?
You did not.
I don't. Didn't you introduced yourself to me? Didn't you? Yeah.
I did not. I did no such thing.
I know who you are because your friend told me to do the crime, and then.
What friend?
Inzil. His name's Inzil.
Ansel Adams, something along those lines.
Inzil.
Yeah, sure.
You met it.
That's what I said.
Do you know where they're at now?
He's still in the house, right, Holly?
He was in one of the rooms, in, I believe, Saturn or probably Reader's bed. Probably Reader's bed.
Yeah. He's taking a little nap somewhere.
Yeah.
In this.
It's like, oh, good, he's here. Perfect. All right, I'll just go retrieve him, and then we'll be on our merry way. Inzil!
I mean,
he doesn't
go up and
answer
look
when
for
you
him.
call his name.
It's like, he is a heavy sleeper. I'll go wake him up. I'm gonna go looking for him.
Okay, there's 4 rooms in this house. Each of them has a bed in it. You assume it's 2. Well, there's 4 people in here, 2 being unconscious. But when you look into one of the rooms, you see that he's might be asleep on the bed, but you're not sure. So you see this Gith Yankee asleep, sideways on the bed, but you can't exactly tell what's going on with him. So you'd have to get closer.
Yeah, I'd probably just walk up and just give him a good shake, be like, all right, buddy, it's time to pack up and go.
Yeah, when you shake him and turn him around, you see that there's a bloody, rusty dagger just stabbed into his chest. And on the end of the dagger is a scroll with the symbol of the Mercy Killer faction. And it says on the scroll, written in Factal, signed by Factal Nilesia, who you met earlier.
The mean tiefling girl.
It says, you will bring the treasure to me and the information that I seek, or all of these people, including yourself and your entire crew, will be brought to justice.
That doesn't fly.
Yeah, takes the blanket and puts it over Enzel. Yikes. That seems to happen a lot. The whole stabbing thing.
The hell goes on in this house? Jesus.
I don't know either. Listen, I didn't ask to be here, but there was a mean teenager, and she wants a treasure. Don't know what it is. Don't care. But we're all gonna die if we don't find it, I guess.
Yeah, I can't say I got time for dying today. So, and is he? Can I check if like he's alive?
He is not alive. He's super dead.
Just like, oh shit.
Will tries to make a really impressive show of being so, like, verklempt. She, like, kneels down and, like, places her hand on his forehead and, like, weeps a little bit. Tries to make it clear she really cares.
It's like, you're a compassionate soul. I can very much tell that.
Should we bury him?
We ain't got time for that. We gotta go.
Okay, yeah.
You also know that if you put his body out on the street, the collectors will come and take him.
Okay. Yeah, we should put him out on the street. Otherwise, he's gonna melt into some sort of people soup. Didn't know that was a thing that happened to humans. It's horrifying. And get everywhere. So we should probably put him outside to be collected.
Is that like a normal thing? Like when you die, you just get collected? Like people don't bury each other here?
Yes. Well, there is a mortuary, so you could take him to the mortuary, but if it's more or less a body that you need to get rid of at any time, people will happily collect dead bodies and sell them, and there's actually a business for that in Sigil, so.
Of course.
They sell them to the mortuary, because the mortuary will actually reanimate them sometimes and use them as servants.
Oh.
This is a horrible place.
Great.
Isn't it?
Was I like super attached to Inzel, or was it just kind of a work thing?
Yeah, he was your first mate.
Shit.
But he knew the risks.
Yeah. So Mason kind of kneels down, and then he just like puts a hand on him, and he like quietly is mumbling a little prayer to himself. He's just like, supposed to be here.
Will tries to mumble along even though she doesn't know the words at all. She tries to pretend she can do it too. He turns to Will, seeing as just like, are you a believer as well? What do you think?
And she's under her breath, like, yeah, she believes in something as money.
It's like, wow. It's always reassuring to find another follower of our good morning Lord.
Well, oh yes, the morning Lord, my favorite.
May his light shine upon you.
Right.
Nejma in the background is just like,
now.
When you say that the skull
Will
falls
looks at
out.
Nejma and mouths,
yeah, the skull, as you talk about Lathander, the skull again falls out of Reader's dismembered leg cap and just rolls
they're
across
praying,
the floor.
like,
yeah,
or just like shoves it back in there. Starts to like drag Inzel's body out the door, like she's not to be bothered. She's like, they will come and do whatever it is that the weird people here do, unrefined, all of them.
You feel that it might be best before you leave to take your friends with you, just in case the collectors get any fancy ideas about unconscious bodies.
Yeah, no, they're inside. They're safe. Should we rest before we go on this treasure hunt?
That's up to you.
I would like to. I am low on hit points.
did you have a long rest while we were handcuffed?
You did not, no.
Then we should take a long rest.
All right.
Yeah. Let's get some sleep. We will think about what to do in the. Is it peak is daytime, right?
Peak is daytime, yes, and then anti-peak is midnight.
Yeah, we will.
Mason's a little confused by this. He's like, so when someone threatens to come and kill you, do you typically take a nap about it? Is that?
Yes, I do. It's called meditation. You should try it sometime.
I'm just saying, 8 hours seems like a long time for. All right, well.
Listen, while we were trying to find our friend who lost a leg, I got a boo-boo, and I need to rest and cry about it in peace.
Yeah, all right. I guess I'm a guest here, so your house, your rules.
All right, so you all decide to rest for 8 hours. It is uneventful. Saturn and Reader do not wake up yet, but they, you know that they wouldn't want to be left behind if you go on an adventure. So you may need to levitate them or carry them if you decide to take them.
I will levitate them.
I'm sure that someone as strong as Mason could easily carry one of our friends.
Mason sees this just like, I mean, I'm not one to brag, but, you know, if need be, the lady needs help. I'd be one to oblige. I guess I'll try to carry a body.
Nesma's like rolling her eyes, and Will keeps looking over her shoulder like, treasure!
I'll levitate Reader. I'm sure he's heavier than Saturn. That sweet twink.
Yes. Yeah, he's much heavier.
Yeah, I'll levitate Reader.
All right, so are you guys gonna lock up your home or tell your neighbor that you're leaving, or?
Nejma will like scream out the gnome's house like, "Hi, we're leaving. Make sure nobody takes our stuff. I guess I don't care."
All right, you see Taryn, who's your neighbor, stick his head out, and it seems that his house has kind of gotten a little more hoardery again since the last time you cleaned it up. He's just, you know, you can't, it's a mental health thing. So he sticks his head out, and he's just like, oh, all right, I'll make sure that it's safe while you're gone. Sometimes the dustmen take up and empty kips, but I'll make sure that it's all right and they don't sleep in there.
Feel free to fill it with garbage.
When do you think you'll be back?
Oh, God, who knows? Hopefully never. Bye, Tara.
Goodbye. If you all die, I will take over.
Yes, please feel free to fill with bones and trash. I'm sure you will have a great time.
Wonderful. And he's like drinking tea and he waves.
Yes.
The other neighbor's like, good riddance.
Nejma makes like some sort of rude sigil gesture and like, I didn't like you anyway. I hope you fall out of your window. Just like levitating Reader like a Disneyland balloon.
You see her empty her chamber pot angrily just as you pass by.
We're like walking away, and I've just got Saturn's body over his shoulder. He just turns to the neighbors and just gives like a little.
And the mean neighbor who had been harassing them for like the past like however many weeks just looks at you and is like, oh.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so it's up to you, Mason. Where are you taking them?
All right, well, there's a couple ways we could go about this. We could wander around aimlessly, find our death real quick, or you could listen to me because I've got a pretty solid plan up my sleeve. If y'all trust me, that is, because y'all seem like such a trustworthy bunch.
I trust no one, but I don't have a choice. Do whatever it is that you will do.
All right. Well, I've got a ship that we could use to get on out of here.
You have a ship? I had no idea.
I do. I know. It is it gets the job done. I won't talk it up too much, but and he takes out like small little silver coin. He's like, I got the key, but we got to get to it. And we can only get to it by getting to a certain place where this key will work.
Can you, two of you, give me perception checks to look at this coin?
Oh, Christ. Oh, shit.
Nate, you don't have to because you know what it is.
18.
6.
All right, Nejma, you don't care. Will, you love shiny things.
Her eyes too hard.
Yeah. Will, you love shiny things, and you notice that this coin has a bunch of strange symbols on it, including a man's face and some numbers, as well as what almost looks like maybe a bird on the back.
It's a fucking quarter.
It's a quarter. I've never seen a coin like that. Is it valuable? I mean, what's that?
It's like, this is our ticket out here. So for this to work, we need to get to there's an area we need to get to that's outside of I believe a shield shop, if I'm not mistaken, in the Great Foundry. So if we can get there as quick as we can, we got access to a ship, and we got ourselves a way out.
Nejma is convinced. All right, let's go with the quickness.
All right, so you're welcome to hire a sedan chair if you want to go faster. Mason, if you want to do that, you have the funds. Well, Will has your funds.
I have no such thing.
Nejma still has some money. Nejma will hire a sedan.
Okay. All right, so Nejma...
Mason will go to try and pay and be like, right. That is not on my person anymore. Shame.
Stealing is such a horrible crime.
Yeah, it's real bad. Nejma just dumps an indiscriminate amount of money into the hands of the sedan.
All right.
Do I even perceive that Will has some of my stuff on her?
100%. She definitely does.
Do I spot my money?
I am a professional thief.
Okay, are you hiding his money?
Yes.
Okay. Well, give me a perception check to see how well Will is hiding your money. It's going to be hard because she is a professional thief, but she has been getting really close to you, so...
That is a dirty 20.
Oh, yeah, you know she's got your money.
Maybe you're just too polite to say anything.
Cool. Can I just try to sleight of hand it off her? Just try and steal it back?
Yeah, try and steal it back. I want you guys to contest, though. I want you to contest seeing it, Will, and Mason, you, and... Will, you're gonna also have disadvantage because you're too busy flirting with him.
Well, I rolled a 1. So
yeah, you don't even notice him take it off of you. He takes his entire coin purse back.
Does Nejma notice?
You can roll and see.
Yay.
You guys
By the way, it was a 25, so it was very slick.
Oh yeah, I imagine this is all happening in the sedan chair. You guys are being carried by these burly tieflings and an orc, and you see you Nejma, you're just looking outside watching the passersby, and these two are just stealing from each other.
For this check, would it be perception?
It would be perception, yes, yeah.
So 19 plus 3, so 20.
Okay, so you do see him steal it back from Will.
It's what she...
You roll to see if you see it, just so you don't care.
Yeah. Yeah,
if Will did know this had happened, she would have an existential moment of how is this happening to me, and be actually impressed instead of pretending to be impressed.
Can I just instead of saying anything, I just do
You can. Yeah, you can give him some eyes. That's cool, man.
He just gives a...
So charming. What the heck?
And the unconscious bodies of Reader and Saturn are both flopping out of the door and maybe dragging on the ground a little bit as the sedan chair comes to a stop. You're in the Great Foundry now, and it's covered in smoke. And it's almost hard to breathe. You kind of have to put cloth over your mouth so that you can actually breathe in this area because the smoke is so thick. But you've told the sedan chair where you're going to go, and it's outside of a shop with a giant shield on the outside and what looks like razor vine climbing all over it, and in particular, a large clump of razor vine to the left, which is kind of like a dusky green, sharp plant that's native to Sigil.
As we're... So it's the thing that's transporting us is a driver type thing?
So there's 4 people carrying the chair. And
okay.
Yeah, and they'll set it down, and kind of one of the leaders will walk up and kind of expect a tip, oi, cutter.
I'm just I got this one. And then right in front of Will, I take out the pouch that I just stole back and then just flip him a gold.
He's gives you a nod, thanks, friend, and says, be careful of this place. The Foundry's dangerous when it gets to be anti-peak, and they carry the chair off.
Dangerous, my man. Everything is dangerous.
As they walk off, you just bumble, everything's dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, they pick the sedan chair up, and you see another group of people get into it. Your unconscious friends are still next to you, and you're in front of the shield shop now, holding cloth over your face because the air is just so smoky and stagnant.
After he tips him, puts the money away, looks at Will, and you're all right, thanks for keeping this warm for me.
Of course. My pleasure. It was the least I could do when you asked me to do that for you when we were in jail together, which you forgot.
Oh boy. All right, let's go inside.
She's like stumbling over the story. It's like maybe just quit while you're ahead, little daffodil. You'll be fine.
Will looks at Nejma like,
oh, please, just let's. So, can we go in the shield shop? Nejma does like this. This, we're in here. Is this where we go? Is this
like, yes, shield shop. We don't need to go in the shop per se, but I mean, if y'all got some shopping you want to do.
No. Wait,
No?
maybe actually, there might be stuff. I don't know. I want to go outside now. Now that we're here, I just kind of want to go outside.
You're welcome to go in. Do you want to go in the shield shop?
Is it just like shields in general, or is there other stuff? Oh, no. Do you want to go in there? Anybody else need anything?
So this found like, is it just a shield shop, or like what else is around here?
So in the Great Foundry, it's more or less a place of industry. So it sells weapons, armor, anything that can be forged. You see lots of like on every corner there's a blacksmith forging something, and in the middle is more the Great Foundry, which is a big billowing fiery tower. That's a great forge. So you're kind of in one of the shopping areas of this place, but the smoke is just so thick that it's mostly people working and people commissioning weapons and armor. This shield shop is, in particular, a more friendly looking place. It has a sign outside, again, with the shield. And it's just, it seems that the only thing they sell is shields, which is a little strange, but, you know, it's Sigil.
is there anything that would be easy to steal?
I mean, there's outside of the shield shop are about 4 or 5 large shields.
No, this is hard.
Nejma sees Will like eyeing up these shields, and she's like, just, please. I'm tired.
She strokes Nejma's cheek for a second. She's like, baby girl, you know I'm only flirting with him for the money. Come on. Don't be upset.
Mason, roll to hear that.
No! You said it. You pulled out of the earshot.
What is that? Perception?
Not be
Perception.
that clumsy.
It's perception.
Oh, that was a nat one anyway. So
Okay.
Okay, he doesn't.
Mason's just like looking around at this fort, like this boundary, just like.
Yeah, and Mason, as you're in this foundry, you notice that the city that you're in Sigil actually curves upward, and you can see the city continue above you, like in a circle, and it's just angular buildings and weird lights and things just continuing pretty much thousands of feet in the air and above you. It's bizarre. You've seen a lot of things, and this is definitely one of the weird ones.
Some jarring architecture.
It's a donut.
Everything is bad and weird here. I came from a beautiful place. That's not this. Where should we go next, fearless, strange man?
Do I initially see the razor vine like outright? Just like there it is.
Yeah, the whole shop is covered with it. So you think that anywhere on the razor vine around the shop would work with your portal key. But as you're looking at it, you guys notice that someone in gray robes is starting to drag Saturn away.
Oh, damn it.
You need to get your friend
we're
there.
still using that one.
Yeah, Nejma just goes she has Reader like a Disney World balloon and like huddle what's the word I'm looking for? Hustles over to the person dragging Saturn. He's like, no, he's still. I'm sorry, you don't want this one. He's still alive, and starts dragging him
So
back.
This must be like an 80-year-old woman who's holding on to his leg. It's like, and she just doesn't want to let go. She's just trying to pull him back. She seems like,
ma'am, I'm gonna need you to stop. I don't want to have to get physical.
She's pulling him.
She's
She's not letting go.
Oh boy. Can I like put my hand on her face and like
Yeah, you can.
away like it's Black Friday at Kohl's?
You can.
Like,
Her teeth are all rotten, and she kind
Oh.
of might have some fungus on her face, but
that's what's a little fungus between friends. What do I have to roll?
just
through?
roll for a strength check to push her away from Saturn.
Okay. Oh boy. It's not good. It's a 5. Wait, hold on. It's a 5 or an 8. These dice are bad. So it's probably bad either way.
That's not enough to push this frail old woman away from Saturn as she continues to pull him away. You guys all see Nejma attempt this, and it's just a sad.
Like, my heart's not really in it, and I'm just like, can I please help? Please.
Mason will walk up to the old lady and then just be like, oh, excuse me, darling. I think you're mistaken. He points to the body, just like, this one ain't wrapped yet. You don't want him. And gives a little like wink. I want to try and persuade her.
Okay. Try and persuade her.
Okay. 18.
Yeah, she thinks about biting you for a second. She's like, "Eh." And then she drops Saturn and runs away.
Will's starting to feel a little outrogued right now. Like,
Yeah, like
and
these were some
like,
skills.
Go, you run. As
she's running, he's just like, you have a nice day now.
Yeah, well, you see that these skills are just unmatched.
Skills to pay the bills, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
She looks kind of like, and then she starts looking at that coin purse again.
Nejma sees it and is like, just don't. Let's finish this, wrap this up. Let's just get the treasure. I don't want to be murdered by a teenager.
So Mason's like, all right, it's probably time for us to head up. So, yeah, I guess I'll attempt to use the key at the vines.
So as you walk towards the vines and you hold this portal key in your hand, you start to see a swirling light appear. And you can almost feel like a hot magnetism with this portal key and the portal that you're actually trying to open. But now just the swirling light is in front of you, and you guys are welcome to walk through.
I drag these two imbeciles through with me.
All right.
I've like done this before, right?
Oh, tons of times.
All right, yeah. Portal opens up, and Mason just kind of gives like a after y'all.
Yeah, I feel like this is a trap. Why don't you go first? It's your portal, I don't want to be rude.
Do you think I'd try to pull one over on you?
I do. This place is horrible. I trust no one. Go through the portal.
Wow, after all that trust we built up of not stealing from each other and lying to each other, huh? It's like, you know what? I guess I'm just disappointed more than anything.
That
but
hurts Nejma a little bit.
Fair enough. You have reason to, so I understand. And he'll go through the portal first.
Will tries to step in at like the exact same time, like a millisecond after, just to be like, "Oh, I wasn't coming after you. I was, I thought it was fine to come through. I trust you."
Nejma like gives her like a nudge through as she like drags Saturn and her, like two limp toddlers through this portal.
Yeah, so once you guys come through the portal, you are in some place you have definitely never seen before. It looks like you're in a cloudy outer space with different colored clouds and all kinds of objects and rocks and things floating around. It's completely alien to you. It looks like an alien dimension. And you're on the bridge of a ship, the ship that is on our little outline next to Mason. Did you have a name for your ship, Mason?
That is a fantastic question.
Well, you can think about it while.
Oh wait, no, we approach the ship, and we go through the portal, and we see the ship, and you're just like, all right, welcome to the Fulbright.
Ooh, fancy. Nejma's impressed. She's never seen anything like this.
Yeah, this is a ship with wings, and you can see a crew of about 20 people milling around on this ship. Just all different races, tieflings, humans, a gnome. Just an assortment of different people running around on this ship. And as soon as they see you, Mason, they all stand at attention. They're, welcome back, Captain! A small gnome walks up to you, and you know this as your main engineer. Lily. Her name is Lily. Yeah. She's a little gnome with big goggles.
Oh, that's adorable.
Mm-hmm. She's like, welcome back!
Will's gonna try to look like she's like with Mason because he's getting all of this, like everyone's like, oh, welcome back, Captain, respect. So she's just gonna do like the hand on the arm, like the lady of the boat thing, and see if that works.
Oh my god.
Mason sees you just like, well, all right then. Like, Lily, how things looking while I was gone?
They're great, sir. Everything has been set up for our next jump. You gave me the coordinates to where our quarry might be, and she just kind of like scratches her head. Inzol left? Is he with you?
Unfortunately, Inzol didn't make it. I'm sad to say.
Oh.
Is the crew still lined up?
She looks really sad, and she kind of like takes a deep breath, like, yes, we're all ready to go. We're ready to fly, sir. I'm sorry about Inzol, but we'll keep our spirits high. No,
it's all right. It's all right. Line the crew up before we go. I want to talk to everybody first.
Yes, sir. And she'll go up to the top of the ship, where you can see kind of where the fins lead, and she'll ring what looks like a little bell, and the crew starts to assemble on deck, and they seem excited to see you. Morale seems high despite Inzol being gone. They're happy that their captain is back. And again, like, you are more or less on the bridge of a ship in outer space. That's what this looks like.
So the crew lines up, and Mason's like, all right, team, as you may or may not have heard, we lost a good one. First mate Inzol is no longer with us. But we don't want that to crush spirits. We want to keep morale high, because that's what Inzol would have wanted. So this next quest, this next mission, we do it for Inzol. Got it?
Well, they like, a couple of them like take their hats off and just look really solemn and nod, and they all look back at you, and a few are just like, that's right, Captain.
All right, I believe in y'all. Carry on.
All right, when you say that, like a well-oiled machine, they disperse to start turning the ship on and setting all of these strange magical devices to whirring. You can see magic start to flow through the wings on this ship as it kind of hums and raises up from the ground. Or you're on a large rocky surface that's just floating in the middle of this space with little bits floating next to it. And as you start to float up, you notice that Reader and Saturn are still on the deck unconscious, even while you're making the speech.
Does Will or anyone in the party have any idea what this space is that we're in?
You can give me either an intelligence or an arcana check.
Let's see which. Yeah, I get a 10.
Okay, yeah, well, you're just like, this is weird.
I got a dirty 20. So
oh, wait,
15.
hold on. I unplugged my headphones because of my enthusiasm. Hold on. Okay, what was that, Nejma?
Dirty 20. I got 15 plus 5.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so Nejma, you being one well-versed in the arcane arts, know that this is the astral plane. And in the astral plane float all kinds of absolute nonsense, including the bodies of dead gods.
Can, like, Nejma explain what she thinks she might... Like, she knows what it is, but maybe not on... Somebody just put Vord in the chat. God damn it.
Chad, get out of the chat!
Get out, Chad!
Chad's at work doing his big person job, so I took your leg away. Keep going.
So, like, maybe she doesn't know what it is on a scientific level, but maybe she's heard like weird elvish
Yeah.
tales about it.
Yeah. She's definitely
so-
heard weird tales of the astral plane, some spells going awry and people ending up there, or portals to there, and that it's a place of strange energies and weird and mystical happenings, and
Okay.
anything can happen in the astral plane.
Okay, so Nejma turns to Will and goes, I think we're dead? Maybe? Don't quote me on that. Okay, so my mom used to tell me that if I wasn't good, that she would send me here because, like, dead people come here. And I think we were murdered. Just saying, I think we were murdered.
Do I hear this?
Yeah. Nejma's loudly saying, I think we were murdered.
We've been murdered. Our souls have been stolen. This is a... And she, like, starts having a meltdown, perhaps?
Will gathers Nejma to her bosom and starts trying to comfort her.
Nejma's very tired.
She needs a nap.
Mason's like, oh, that's adorable. No, you're not dead. Don't you worry about that. We're just really far from home at this point.
Oh, okay,
You know what's
well.
so weird is that we're all so far from home, and this place that we were viciously taken from our homes and dumped in is not really where we wanted to be. So maybe Nejma, step up, right?
Maybe could we get to our regular homes from here? Or any like new homes?
You know, Nejma, that the astral plane could lead anywhere. Like Sigil, the astral plane
Okay.
could lead anywhere. There's portals of
Alright.
colored light that go to all over the multiverse.
Well, now that we have such a good friend like Mason, I bet
Hmm.
he would give us a ride just about anywhere, right?
That could possibly be arranged. I'm sure we could work something out.
Just to remind you, Reader is not awake to remind you that the Mercy Killers will continue to hunt you to your death if you don't
Yeah, I
find
was
this
just gonna
treasure.
ask, I'm like,
Like a Reader is not awake to tell you this.
if we could get here, like Nejma says, if we can get here, I'm sure the Mercy Killers can get here. So we probably have to do that thing we said we would do. Oh my gosh, I'm scared of teenagers. They're so mean.
Can all of you give me a perception check?
Oh boy.
17.
22.
11.
All right. Mason, as your crew has kind of gotten your ship into what you know is the usual hum of moving forward through the astral plane, you can see particles and things zipping past you. Think Star Trek.
Mhm.
You notice something coming towards your ship that looks like its posture is threatening.
Is it is it another ship?
It is not another ship.
So,
Oh.
all right. He just calls out to the crew. He's just like, all right, boys, eyes up. We got company.
Yeah, as soon as you say that, the crew is much more alert, and you notice Lily is going back and forth between where she controls the helm and the engines and is setting everything up. And you have one cannoneer on this ship. I don't know what the word is. A cannoneer is the word that I'm using. But you have a particle cannon that you have altered from illithid technology that shoots a magical laser. So you actually have a weapon on the front of this ship.
All right. Well, I consider this thing's posture threatening, so I guess fire away.
Yeah, so they take aim at whatever is coming towards you. And
So is it just like a shape? I can't like make out really what it is.
as it's coming closer, and the ship is slowed down because you've told them to pretty much like pull back, and you can see that it's definitely a very large creature with 2 wings and possibly a dragon.
Fantastic.
There are dragons out here?
Apparently, and lo and behold, first trip out, and you guys get to see one. I think this will be fun.
I do want to.
So, How do I go about attacking this? Do I roll for this or?
So your ship, you're rolling for your engineer who has shot off your magic cannon at the dragon,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still gaining purchase on your ship because it seems to be coming towards you at a faster speed. So just roll me a d20 and then we'll see if you hit it depending on the dragon's roll.
All right.
Hey, Holly, is there a way for Nejma to like stash Reader and Saturn like below deck so they don't like, I don't know, roll off?
Yeah, so as the crew is panicking, not panicking, you're panicking. The crew's fine. The crew's used to this. You can ask Lily to help to put Reader and Saturn down below, and she says, "Oh, we don't have many rooms, but we can put them in the brig. It's empty right now."
Yeah, put them in jail. They deserve to be in jail. Let's go.
So she'll help you move them into the brig, into a small cell, while you'll just like push their bodies to the corner.
Yeah, be like, y'all are.
Yeah.
That roll was an 18.
Okay, cool. Yes, the astral dragon did not roll as well. So a massive explosion kind of hits one of its wings from your ship's cannon. And it doesn't seem to be too injured as it's still coming towards you. But you know that it's flying a little lopsided just because you're so perceptive and have fought so many things out here in the astral plane that you did some damage to it.
Right. So in my experiences, is it better to fight or avoid these things?
It's better to fight. This creature's probably desperate because it could be, you think it could be maybe a dragon from the material plane, or it could be lost here due to like a wizard spell or something like that. A lot of times when you come into contact with creatures out here, there's not a lot of natives, there's a lot of chaos.
All right.
The only natives you know are the Githyanki, and you really don't want to run into them.
Right. Okay. And then it seems like we probably can't outrun this thing, huh?
You think you might be able to, but it's about the same risk as fighting it on your ship.
So it's kind of a toss-up, huh?
Yeah, exactly. But it's your call because you're captain.
All right, well, Mason kind of looks on. He's like, you can see he's kind of contemplating in his head. And just like, don't want to run, don't want to fight. So I guess we'll leave it up to fate. And he takes out that same coin that he used as the key for the portal, and then just flips it and catches it, puts it on his hand, and it is, hold on. Okay, I tried to get Siri to flip a coin, but apparently it's offline right now. Let's see. Do I
use a real one?
I don't carry cash.
Use a D4.
Oh yeah.
That's an idea. Shit, I don't have one of those on me either. Okay, wait, hold on. We got this.
That's okay. I'm invested in this
Flip a coin.
Coin flipping at this point.
It's heads.
Thanks,
All right,
Siri.
so smacks it. And it says, he's like, all right. He turns to the rest of the party. He's just like, well, if y'all got any weapons or anything fancy to try and fight a dragon with, now'd be the time to do that.
Hey, Holly, is there a way for me to like try and, I don't know, talk to my patron?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can Nejma like just be like, hey, buddy, it's me. How you doing in there?
Yeah, so you feel a more of a connection to this creature that's bestowed you these powers in this astral plane. You think that Sigil kind of dampens anything that's a greater power like that. And as you ask, you kind of feel this kind of warmth in the back of your head, and you hear, yes.
Hi, it's me, your pal, Nejma. Wondering if maybe you and I can do that thing we did before on that dragon. Remember the thing in the jail? I did that because you asked me to. And what if we took care of this dragon? It looked really cool.
As you're mumbling, all you hear, you get this feeling of like annoyed mom.
Yeah.
This fire, it's actually a fire primordial, says, if it's necessary. And then you feel the connection break.
I feel like it's necessary. It's an emergency.
You're not that character today.
Alright, so what do I do?
You can do whatever you want. It's
Okay.
the dragon's still now getting closer, and I'm gonna have you guys roll initiative now that we're close enough to actually fight it. And I'm gonna roll for the crew as 1.
Alright. 4. I'm like garbage today.
Ooh. 12.
Okay. All right.
20
Will.
for me.
Okay, cool. And the crew.
Nice.
All right, cool. All right, Will, you are first. You can see the dragon getting closer, and what it looks like is it almost looks like a black dragon who's kind of been corrupted by this astral plane. He's got pieces of him almost like stars in his body, and he seems like there's like a madness in his eyes. Like he might have been summoned here by a wizard or got lost here, you don't know. But this is an adult black dragon, and he's flying towards you very quickly.
Will knows that like little rogue self is not going to do much for this dragon, but Mason called everyone to arms. So she runs over to stand next to Mason with her short bow and fires at the dragon like as though she's like shoulder to shoulder in battle with Mason.
He sees the short bow, he's like, oh, that's adorable.
She kind of gives him a winning smile.
Nejma's like, you're doing amazing, sweetie.
She winks at Nejma. And she rolls 15. Does that hit the dragon?
No.
Well, that's fine because she does that. She's like, oh, aren't I adorable? But with her fast hands, she actually is only there because she's trying to steal that coin pouch again. She's going to use Sleight of Hand.
Okay.
Does she have advantage because he's otherwise
No.
occupied? Come on.
Stop, Pat.
Do I try to like roll against it or?
No, it's just whether or not
it's
I'm
just whether or not
successful.
she
Oh,
does it. And we're also in initiative, so that would be later.
Oh, okay.
15.
What is your passive perception?
Passive perception is 17.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, so you see it?
Dang it.
She goes to fire a bow and it straight up just tries to rob you again.
I see. I'm just like, it's not really time for that.
Nejma's like, hey, what if we stop flirting? And dragon just...
He just like kind of takes it back, just like, maybe next time, sweetie.
Will just kind of smiles and is like, well, all right,
So tired.
I'm done.
Oh, well. All right.
I'm a professional thief.
Now the crew goes and is going to take another shot at the dragon. Ooh, and it misses. The dragon is injured, but the beam of this magical cannon just kind of slices to the side too far, and you hear just the cannoneer just be like, "Shit!"
It's all right. We'll get him next time.
And now it's your turn, Mason.
All right. I'm going to. Am I like? Is this ship like a typical ship with like a steering wheel like in the front of it?
Yeah, just imagine it like a regular tall ship, except for it's got big wings and it's run by magic instead of by the wind.
Okay.
It has an open top. It's not closed.
Yeah, it has an open top.
Yeah. And so I'm assuming that's kind of where I've been this whole time.
Yeah, at the wheel, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to try. I don't know how you want to do this, but I want to try and like maybe like veer really hard as it's getting closer to like kind of like almost like play chicken with the dragon because it hasn't like landed on us yet, right?
No, not yet. It's just about there though.
Cool. I want to try and do some sweet spaceship steering maneuvers.
Okay. Yeah.
So, however you want me to do that.
Okay, let me bring up your ship stats really quick because I had them on my screen and now they're gone. Where'd you go, ship? I have too many images on here, so. Okay, so. I'm just gonna have you do kind of a strength check. To pull the wheel to the side.
Okay. Strength or athletics?
I would say strength.
Okay. Ooh, okay. 19.
All right, so that is enough to veer the ship to the side as the dragon finally reaches pretty much the edge of this entire ship and is attempting to pretty much grab the side.
Right before he does it, he just calls out there and was like, all right, grab something sturdy.
All right, they are all very well and used to you doing that, but Will and Nejma, you are not. So can you give me dexterity saving throws to see if you tumble down the deck and look real dumb?
I embrace if I do. 12.
Okay, Will.
16.
All right, yeah, Nejma, this is a hard turn. So
Hi, everyone.
you almost lose your footing, but you just kind of stumble a bit and fall over. Will, you're fine.
Like, am I like laying on the? Am I?
Yeah, you're just like you just kind of get knocked over. And
Yeah,
down
I'm
in
just
the
gonna lay there.
in the brig, Reader tumbles around just like a sad doll. Saturn is just kind of still sitting there, but Reader's just like flopping around with one leg.
Reader.
Nejma's just gonna lay here. I'm just like, yeah.
Okay.
This is fine.
Yeah, so you managed to dodge the dragon because you pulled the steering wheel to the side.
Cool.
And your crew is just incredibly impressed, as they always are, by your antics. Now, let's see. Nejma, it is your turn.
All right. Let me check out my spells. I would like to do the Scorcher. I still cannot say it. I practiced, it doesn't work. So yeah, I want to do that one. Is it within 30 feet?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do.
If you're on the side of the ship, if you stand up and move.
I'll stand up, I guess. Yeah, so I will do that. And it's so okay, not bad. 14.
And that's to hit the dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that does not hit the dragon.
Okay, that's fine. You know, it's just fling some fireballs into space and stuff.
You kind of hear your patron in the background being like, I don't think that's gonna work.
Okay, well, you know what? You didn't want to help me before, so.
I didn't say that.
Okay, well, we'll talk about this later.
Will, give me a perception check really quick.
17.
You hear Nejma talking to herself.
Cool, love it.
I'm still not aware of anything that's going
Nope.
on with this patron thing, right?
Nobody is.
I'm like, baby girl, you gotta focus. No more panic. Come on.
Okay. I'm trying.
All right, well, now it's the dragon's turn, and it's going to see this ship as a threat and try to breathe acid onto it. Let's see.
It's an acid breathing dragon?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, the dragon tries to breathe acid onto your ship. And now this dragon is also mad, so it has disadvantage because it's got astral madness. And so what it does is it actually misses the ship and tries to breathe acid everywhere else and manages to fly back past it. So the ship is actually okay. So you're noticing this something is wrong with this dragon.
As in, it like, the acid misses, and Mason looks back at this mad dragon. He just yells at him. It's like, well, can't hurt sunshine, bitch.
Nejma knows this is probably like some weird human religion thing, and which she's very much above, and it's like, no.
When Will hears that, she's starting to get really annoyed by Mason. She's just like, bleh.
Will, it's back to your turn.
Will is like not useful here at all. So
Mason's like, it's all right, sweetie, you're doing great.
like, thanks. She goes and can she try to help the cannoneers somehow?
Yeah. You can go up to the cannoneer and help sturdy because the cannon has a massive recoil. It kind of makes the whole ship shudder when it fires. So you can help sturdy it while they're trying to aim. You can actually give them an assist, which will give them advantage when they aim at the dragon.
All right, that's what I will do.
Okay. All right, so you go and help the cannoneer, which is actually their turn next. So we'll see what they get. Ooh, nice. Yeah, so they kind of, as the dragon tries to breathe the acid, they kind of like twist around and fire off the cannon again, and the magical, like, crazy particle cannon actually hits the dragon like right in the side and does a, let's see, like a lot of damage. The dragon is still alive though, but you notice that it's going to be quite hurt. Yeah, so the dragon is still flying, but it's smoking a bit.
Nice.
But that's thanks to your assistance, Will. Good job. Next up is Mason.
All right, so where is this thing in relation to us now?
It has just been shot again, and it's now dived underneath the ship and is going to come up the other side.
So I don't have eyes on it. Okay.
You do not have eyes on it, no.
Don't like that. If I can, well, if he can, Mason's still got a hand on the wheel. And then he's going to, let me see what I got. Nope. No, maybe not. Okay. He's going to take his hands off the wheel, and if I may, I want to ready his... Oh, that's not much, actually. No, that's not very good. Sure, why not? So he's just gonna stay by the wheel, but he's gonna ready his short bow and just like, if I could ready it as like a reaction, he's just gonna like maybe aim where he thinks it's gonna come back up on its turn to like try and fire something off at it.
Give me, I guess that would kind of be like strategy, so like an insight, like into where, like, give me an insight check to see if you can properly guess where this dragon's gonna come up.
17.
Okay. That is enough for you to position the cannon towards... You're going to have to swing it around because what you think is happening is this dragon is actually going to grab onto the side of the ship and bring its head up on top to start grabbing at the crew.
Okay. So I guess I'll convey that to the crew to like point the cannon, if it works like that, to that general area, just like giving them the heads up. And
all right, cool.
Yeah, I guess that's about it.
All right, so you wrangle them to know where the cannon is going to be. And then next up is Nejma.
All right. Ollie, what do I roll to use my patron?
You're already talking to your patron doesn't care.
Right.
You're already talking to them and they're just sassing you at this point. They're like you're fine.
I don't feel
Plus,
fine.
if you die, I get to eat you. I mean...
Well. Sucks for you. Like, I wish for death. Where's that Dustman lady from before? Let's see. I want to cast Scorching Ray. And it's 2d6. So,
are you going to roll to hit the dragon? Give me a roll to hit.
Not bad. 19.
That just hits.
Yes. 2d6.
You are going to sting this dragon so hard.
It does say on D&D Beyond 3 rays. Is each ray 2d6 or is it all together?
I don't know. No, I think it's all together. Yeah.
Okay.
And that would be a lot of damage, so.
6 and 3, so 9.
All right.
9 damage.
Cool. All right, so you roll 9 damage. Yeah, you zap that dragon. Good job.
Yay.
You
Nice.
did it.
Can I like go to my say to my vision like, see that? See? You see?
Yeah,
Did
like
pretty good for myself.
one of the
Yes, I do see Nejma. Yes, I saw it.
You notice that one of the crew members is a dretch, and they throw a coin at your feet.
Yay!
And they go, yay.
Nejma, because she's horrible, just assumes that they're the same dress. I love you. Thank you.
They walk away and continue doing their Shipley duties. All right, so what happens next is, Mason, you see this massive black dragon with holes and stars in its body grab its hands on top of the ship and hoist its head, now covered in bruises and blood and smoke, onto the ship's deck, causing the side of it to splinter away. And now it's on top of the deck, and it's trying to grab at you and the gun. And it actually bites down on the gun and manages to just rip it off of the ship. So I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw to not be tossed into the astral plane.
13.
So that's enough to not be tossed into space, but you do get flung off the gun and into the side of the ship, and you kind of just like a smack and fall over sort of thing. And then you take 12 damage from being just slammed into the side of the ship. And the dragon is still holding on. But
He's like hurt, but like used to this shit. So he's like hanging on the side, and he sees the cannon get ripped off. So the cannon just like flies into space.
Well, it's now in the dragon's mouth, and it's just like...
Oh, he's holding it.
And he's just kind of crushing it, and then we'll fling it into space.
Just like... I really needed that. All right, new plan.
And
Is there only one gun?
Yeah.
Only
Oh,
one?
yep, it's gone.
So that was the one I was steadying as well?
Yeah. But it's
Okay.
you didn't need to make a save because you weren't on the gun. Imagine like a gun with a seat on it. That's like one of those big like shooty seat guns. I don't know what those are called. You can tell me, chat.
The shooty seat guns?
Yeah, it's like a machine gun, but that's what it looked like. So next up is Will. It's your turn. So you watch the cannon be flung off, and now you're literally like feet from you is the face of this massive black dragon with white eyes, and it's just foaming at the mouth with madness.
Will was like holding the gun, and then all of a sudden the gun's just gone. She's like... She kind of looks at her dagger and her short sword, looks at the dragon, leaves.
Mood.
Do I see this?
Oh yeah, you see the whole thing.
Mason's just like, I understand self-preservation is very important, but you know, if he takes this whole ship down, there's not much else you can go to.
I mean, when he says that, she'll be like, ugh. And she'll turn around as she's like walking away. All her movement is away, but she'll turn around and like try to throw a dagger in the dragon's eye.
Yeah. All right. Roll to hit.
Nat 20.
Woo!
You actually do it. You roll and hit the dragon in the eye, and it's so startled from this piercing pain that it actually lets go of the ship.
Then
Nice.
Will, like, as she's facing toward the dragon and away from Mason, she's like shocked. And then when she turns back to Mason, she's like, and just continues.
All right. And this dragon looks very, very injured. So it lets go of the ship. The gun is gone, but it's now no longer grappling the Fulbright. And it is the crew's turn. Now the crew...
Do I need to roll damage for that?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, roll damage. I didn't even get to add the damage yet.
I'm gonna damage that dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only a dagger. It's so little.
Look, but hey, it startled him.
The damage is 4.
Startling enough, all right? Especially it was right in his eye.
Oh wait, I get to do that. I always forget. I actually get to do extra damage because of sneak attack.
Oh yeah, because you're within allies.
Yeah, right. I'm close enough to allies
Yeah.
for that, right? So actually, make that, and I get 2 of those now. So make that 14.
Oh, nice.
Aha!
Nice. That's actually a lot better.
Messed his eye
Nice.
right up.
Okay, cool. This dragon is very badly hurt. The crew actually all have some of them have actual weapons and magic and things like that. So they're actually going to focus on the dragon as well and try and hit. Oh, they hit! Oh boy! So the crew actually, seeing Mason get hurt and their captain fall, they kind of have this sudden spring of energy, and they all start shooting at the dragon.
Oh, the chat called out that it was a crit, so we should have doubled the
Oh,
damage.
you should have doubled it. Yeah, you're right.
Woo!
Oh man.
The daily double. Pew, pew, pew.
Doesn't that just mean I roll another d4? I don't double it, do I?
You double it, I think.
All of it?
Yeah.
Oh,
All it's.
Well, you double the dice. You double the amount of dice you use.
But so it wouldn't be the sneak attack because my normal damage dice is just a d4 plus.
Yeah, double the d4. Yeah.
4, or d4 plus 3. So the d4 plus 3, the d4 was just a 1.
Okay, so it's 1. That's fine.
So it's
Okay.
15.
Cool.
Wee.
I mean, hey, it's fine. Thank you, chat.
Yeah. There you go.
So the
There's your extra
crew-
1.
Yeah, so the crew is actually going to, because there's how many to say? 25?
Yeah, like 20.
Yeah, so the
25.
crew actually manages to use weapons and magic and whatever they have on them. Very small spells, but there's a lot of them. And you even see a little, one of, little Lily with a sling, and she's got, thrown a rock at it. She has, 1 point of damage. But they're trying to defend their ship and their captain, and they actually manage to take the rest of the dragon down. You see it actually fall back and disappear into a dusty cloud in the astral plane, and you lose it into the darkness.
Yeah. That's how we do it, boys.
And stay away, vile beast.
It's well said.
Ejma is going to lay back down on the deck. She feels seasick. Space, astral plane sick, and just lays there.
Yeah, so the ship is missing a corner and its gun, but it is still flying and still intact. And now that we're out of initiative, Lily will come up and tell you, Mason, that you will have to stop for repairs. Because if we plan on, she says, if we plan on going to where we need to find this artifact, we'll need another weapon. There's many Githyanki there, and I just don't think that we'll survive if we don't have a defense.
Will injects herself, and she's like, "What artifact?"
It's the treasure.
The treasure.
What?
The treasure.
I know. I'm trying to find out what the treasure
She says,
is.
she looks at you and she goes, "Ma'am, I don't know, ma'am. I just know what the captain tells me, and I am on a need-to-know basis. I'm here to fix the ship." And she storms off, and she looks at Mason like, "If you want to tell her, I don't care. I'm gonna go fix the ship."
Will ask
Blinks
that.
expectantly at Mason.
It's fair enough. So he explains, it's I'm on a little bit of a mission right now. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to make a pit stop to make it happen. But out here in the astral plane, there's a lot of big weird stuff, you could say. And we're on a mission to find something big and something weird.
Everything's weird.
Everything. That's fair out here. We're looking for the sentient body of an avatar of a dead god. It's I can't give you much more information than that, but it's a good paying job, and man's got to eat. Am I right?
The treasure is the body of a dead god?
Holly, is that correct?
Yeah, it's the avatar of a body of a dead god.
So like a totem, like a statuette or something.
Yes.
Yeah, you could call it that. Yeah, treasure. Why not?
What would you just ballpark say that the worth is of the body of a dead god? Just out of curiosity.
Mason, you know that this sort of thing that you've been told is priceless because of the power that it holds to teleport people to a realm of great power that has never been discovered before, and that is filled with what you believe to be sentient creatures. That this, you may not tell this, Will. This is just a lore dump for everyone else, and for Mason, but and which you think is why possibly the Mercy Killers would want it, because they want to bring the creatures of this plane to justice if they've broken laws.
Yeah, I think I would actually convey most of that with the Mercy Killers being involved. So just that. Yeah, I convey that. I let them know.
Yeah, so it would be a whole world, like a whole someplace that you could. I mean, it's priceless. It's the existence and the price of an entire world.
Mm-hmm.
An entire plane of existence.
Yeah, and that's something you can't put a monetary value on.
Nejma, at like the very end of the boat, she can put a price on anything. Trust me.
Will's like, I mean, of course, priceless. I understand.
Well, I'm gonna turn to Lily. I'm gonna be like, so where should we get off for repairs?
She just sighs and she's like, I know there's a few solid ground rocks around here, but there's no place that we can really stop until we travel a bit farther. So I would say we travel 1 or 2 days until we can make it to the Grand Bazaar, and it'll be in Githyanki territory, but we should be fine.
I guess we'll take our risks and land there when we can.
She nods and she goes and tells the crew. So the rest of you, you're now on this ship. You're faced with, you're going to have to get it fixed. And you know that where you're going is part of a dead god that has a small settlement built onto it. And you think it's some sort of orcish or demonic god because it's a massive, disgusting-looking creature, but this is only half of its torso. And that's where you're going on the ship to get it repaired. Also, Nejma, your patron is like, this place sucks.
Right. Is there anything for me to like light on fire out of like, I don't know, rebellion?
I mean, there's some like kindling from where the dragon grabbed onto the ship.
Okay, Nejma wants to like prestidigitate like a flame on it, but it probably sets like a fire that's supposed to happen.
All right, so you. Oh, go ahead.
Mason's gonna walk up to them, and be like, "I just want to say I'm very sorry y'all got caught up in the heat of this.
We'll try to put it from our minds. Thank you for the apology. The Morning Lord. The Morning Lord blesses us all with forbearance. Forbearance?
Nejma on the ground under small fire. I hate this. Disgusting and primitive.
Right.
Mason hears that, it's just like, and he like looks at her like expectantly, like, I'm listening. Yes, go on. This is good prayer. It's like,
At Will?
Yeah.
Will's like, morning is when the sun comes up.
That it is.
And so then
I hate this.
you can see the sun, and you say, "Wow, look, the sun! It's making light."
It does. That it does. Tell him about the light.
you know, by the light.
I need to save her from this.
Will,
We see.
can you give me a performance check?
Oh Christ.
I want for the performance check. I do want to say like Mason's really really optimistic and like really trying to go with it, like regardless of how it goes.
Will's just basically saying truisms and waiting for Mason to like positively respond. Things like, by light we can see, and
that
in
we
the
can.
morning there is sun, you know, and like things that are completely truisms but seem kind of metaphorical, you know. So she rolls a 16 performance.
All right. Yeah.
I kind of want to. Can I assist at all?
If you want to start talking about Lathander, I will just yes, you can assist.
Can I just like
Will
do
doesn't
like
even know the
church
name of
hands
the
in the
other.
background?
Okay, yeah. Nejma starts doing church hands in the background.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I got a 17.
Okay.
And
Mason,
she's like,
you don't. I mean, whatever. At least they're talking about your god.
It's like praise be to him.
And with Nejma's church hands, that's where we're going to end this episode. And down in the brig, you notice that Reader and Saturn are still unconscious, and
they're fine.
they've now have just some rubble on top of them, and it's just really sad. So yes, that's the episode.
One thing Mason was gonna say, like toward the end of that, is after apologizing for getting caught up, just gonna say like, but if you stick through and we can make this happen, I think I can make it worth y'all's while. He gives a little wink.
Will nods. Will can get into that.
Nejma was like, oh my god, this feels so good. It's so hot in my apartment, I'm dying.
Actually, I'm sorry. You notice the rubble that's on top of Reader in the brig. A little tiny fire starts.
Oh,
And
oops.
suddenly you feel better, Nejma.
I feel a little better. Oh my god, this is
Oh, man. Oh, thanks for coming, Nate. I love Mason.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was wonderful.
Come back.
So now the crew is in Spelljammer, so that's fun. We're still trapped in the Birdcage, but now we're in the astral plane. So let's all talk about what we do otherwise. Hadil, you're welcome to go first. Go crazy.
Hi, it's Mia, your friend, Hadil. I almost said it's Mama Mia, but you can find me on Twitter, TwittySuch, TWITTYSUCH. You can watch me on this channel on Thursdays, and then on Sundays with Holly, we do Hell's Bells, which is just a tiefling crazy party where I play a literal child who should not be adventuring.
Nope. Nope.
Has been given a stick that makes explosions and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only 10, so this is a problem.
Sorry, Hasbro!
Sorry! You can also find me and my good BFF, Kayla. We make RPG content for children called Bramblefoot Adventures. So if you're a child or you've stolen one and want to play D&D with them,
Stolen.
you can purchase some of our content. It's age appropriate.
Fair.
That's all.
Fair.
Because if you've stolen a child, you care that age appropriate things are given to them.
Watch a Lifetime movie. Damn, they love it.
All right. Who's next? You guys fight for it.
It's Nate.
Uh,
Oh, never mind.
Nate already handed me. He should be the big finale. He has the coolest stuff anyway.
Okay.
That's true.
I can be found also on Dice Camera Action on Tuesdays, where I play with Holly and Nate.
Oh boy.
And oh boy, and we have emotional trauma and comedy, and it's a great time with Chris Perkins as our DM, and that's on this same channel, 4 p.m. on Tuesdays. I'll also be on Twitch weekly tomorrow, Friday at 1 p.m. as usual, where we talk about stuff that happens on Twitch. And I have a couple big events coming up. A couple of them I can't talk about yet, but at the end of the month. And keep your eyes and ears open, because I think all of us here will be at PAX, and we're doing a Waffle Crew Dice Camera Action panel and a couple signings and things. So keep your eyes and ears open for that if you're going to PAX, and also watch for streams even if you can't go.
Yeah, and then like like Anna said, I'm part of Dice Camera Action on Tuesdays. I'm also part of Dark and Dicey on Mondays here on D&D's Twitch at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is a semi-evil campaign that I'm playing with a bunch of cool voice actors and content creators and stuff like that. And then in addition to that, if you don't know, I make music, and next week I'm going on tour with my buddy Zach Callison, who you might know as Steven from Steven Universe. We are going to be in Nashville, Detroit, Chicago, Burnsville, Denver, Seattle, and Portland. Tickets are at natewantstobattle.com. And yeah.
Ah, am I still muted? No, wait, hold on. Oh, not. Hi. Thank you guys for coming on the show. And you guys already said all the things that I do as well. I'm always here. I tweet a lot, and I have a charity coffee out for Strix called Snickety Stooks. You should get it. It's on Initiative Coffee. It's great. There's something else I was gonna say. Oh, and the
Store.
Oh yeah. Oh, I do have a store if you guys want. I never promote my store because I just don't want to. It makes me, I don't know. I just keep the pants on the pigeons.
Hey, if you like Holly's aesthetic, because I know so many of you do, you should check out her store, which is called.
It's Trash Witch Coven on Etsy. And Kayla did the art a lot, and this is new. This is so cool. It's like an embroidered shirt with like the cool like eyes.
Ooh.
It's really sweet. Thank you.
And I'm
Kayla.
the only one today not wearing Holly merch.
I
so
know
feel-
Nate has one of my little hats. Deal has my shirt. But yes, it's a labor of love, and I've had so much fun with it. So it's on Etsy. I will try and link it if I can manage to do it. But thank you for promoting me, friends. You are very kind. I just hate promoting myself because I'm just like, I don't know, but it's fine. But that's why I have friends. So yeah,
I'm just gonna start in all of my shout outs promoting your store.
just like, oh, Holly has a store.
I have a friend named Holly. She has a store. You should go check it out on Etsy.
Okay,
If
here.
you buy stuff, you'll get marriage proposals.
Really?
Yeah, remember I told you about this.
What?
Oh, there it is.
I wore
Okay.
this shirt to work the other day, and one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, marry me," and I'm like, "Okay."
All right. Well, thank you again for everyone for coming. And next week we'll hopefully have all of our crew back. It's just been summer's busy, but you know how D&D games go. A lot of times people miss them, which is okay because we just make them unconscious and steal their legs. So, sorry, Chad.
It's your punishment, no legs.
All right, friends. We will see you all next time in Trapped in the Birdcage and the rest of the week. And I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye. Take care of yourselves. Drink water.